between the pipes. It'll be Nicole Hensley. Ken Klee talking to us, Alexis, about going back and forth between his two stellar goaltenders. More on that a bit later. And Elaine Chuli getting the start for Montreal. Corey Chevry says she's been lights out, specifically in a couple games against Minnesota earlier, so opting to go with her here today. The puck is down. Here we go. It's Montreal and Minnesota from downtown St. Paul at the XL Energy Center. Montreal wins the opening faceoff as Kristen O'Neill will send it in. That new look top line for Montreal. Laura Stacey trying to get it on net, ends up doing so. Sealed off nicely by Hensley. Get it back to the point and now try to send it down low once more. Instead, Minnesota comes away with it. It's Zumwinkle. Flips it ahead for Krzyzova. Krzyzova has it on her backhand, spins around, feeds the point. Kelly Panic down in the corner. Montreal jamming away at it, trying to come away with the puck, and they do so momentarily. Kristen O'Neill will send it ahead. And right back in comes Claire Dalton. Nicole Hensley had to be heads up very early in this game and did a nice job sorting it out.
Yeah, nice quick look from Montreal on that opening shift. It's sometimes tough to come in as the team on the road and come out with that kind of swagger to start the game, but Montreal not scared to get an early look there. Nicole Hensley, always nice to get your feet wet as a goaltender early, get into the game mentally and physically. She's forced to make a stop there in the first 30 seconds.
Now Minnesota has it with the puck in deep in the Montreal zone. Heisey plays it out to the point. Greco goes right back down low. Point Schofield, nifty little pass between her legs. Cut off instead by Boulier. Back comes Montreal. Centering pass by LaForce, sorted out nicely by Channel. In all alone. Point Schofield has Elaine Heisey with a shot that just went wide. Channel sends it deep once more before heading to the bench for a change. This is the fourth of 5 meetings this season between these two teams. Montreal has won 2 of the first 3. Heavy hit along the boards, and Minnesota will come away with the loose puck. Sydney Brott lost it between her legs, and back comes Montreal. Hensley calmly steers it behind her own net. They play on, a blast from the point, blocked. Gunnan was right there to stop that puck. Now a long shot, right in the crease. It's loose, they score! Montreal on the board first. Looked like it was Katie Tabin for her first PWHL goal.
Well, you kind of felt that one coming. Montreal came out with a little bit of zip to their game in this one, just a couple minutes in. And the shot comes from the point. You take another look at it here, work to the center point. Shot comes through. Hensley is screened, and then the puck ends up on the side of the net, and Hensley just cannot get over there to get her pad on it. But nice work to lay the screen out in front of Hensley, and then Tabin able to pop it home to put Montreal up 1-0.
Krzyzova carrying in now for Minnesota. They'll try to answer quickly after allowing the first goal 2 minutes and 36 seconds in. Katie Tabin has solidified herself as part of that top D-corner. A quick chance. An early save by Chuli as she steered it wide with the pass. Zumwinkle can't catch up to the loose puck. Krzyzova's behind the net trying to play it. They jam away at it. Tabin right back on the ice after scoring that goal. Back to the point for Minnesota. Lee Steckline unable to hold the zone. It comes out to neutral ice. She sends it across. Minnesota goes for a change. So too does Montreal. The last game for both of these two teams before they each take about 3.5 weeks off. And by off, I mean a lot of them are going to be playing for their countries at the Women's World Championship. And the others will continue their prep. Some player development is what Corey Chevry said is the plan for the girls who are not at Worlds. Heisey carrying in down low, stops up. Trying to feed Greco, and she has it taken away.
Good pressure there to force that puck out of the zone.
Bujo lost it off her stick. Back comes Minnesota. It's Kava, 2-on-1 developing. Heisey, centering pass, and a great defensive effort by Amanda Boulier.
Heisey just waited too long to either pass or shoot. She ran out of room to work with, and by the time the puck did get back to Kava, the play had broken up a little bit. Nice job by Montreal to stop two hot scores for Minnesota from finding a good look on that sequence.
Yeah, those are not the two players you want streaking down the ice, especially if you're playing in a new system with a new team as Boulier is today. Flaherty goes cross ice. That shot bounced on the way, went wide. Gazal plays it ahead for Lagunière, and she sends it out to the neutral zone. Cunnin lost an edge. Look out, here's David. David, Murphy scores! A turnover in the neutral zone, and just like that, it's 2-0.
First of all, that's how quickly things can turn on you in the pros. One mistake, one slip up, one fall, and the puck is in the back of your net, and it was just one of those banana peel on the ice type moments. You lose your footing, Montreal jumps on it, and what patience here to outweight Nicole Hensley and tap it in on the backhand. Cunnin trying to get her stick on it, laid out on the ice, just couldn't reach it, and Murphy puts it home to make it 2-0 in favor of Montreal. Her 4th goal of the season. Minnesota, this is one of those moments where you kind of just have to take a deep breath and regroup here. Coach Corey Chevry's got to be pleased with the way this team has come out here on the road, putting 2 goals behind Nicole Hensley, who's coming off her first career shutout, by the way, has now been beat twice today.
Minnesota knew to expect Montreal's best, knowing they've been struggling lately on a 3-game skid for the first time all season. Minnesota needs to answer back quickly. Claire DeGeorge bumped off the puck by Taven, collected by Ambrose. It's in the skates of Dubois. She gets it back to her stick, and now another odd man rush the other way. Koznikov feeds Taven at the point. A lot of odd number rushes for Montreal, and you wonder if there's anything to the fact that Minnesota has had these lengthy stretches lately between games.
Yeah, it definitely can affect not only your physical approach to the game, but your mental approach to the game. Athletes like to be in a groove. They like to have that consistency, and you kind of have to change the way you go into those games when you have certain breaks in between. And, you know, we're going to have a big break coming up soon, so they better figure it out.
Zumwinkle making PWHL history with that hat trick. We've seen many other Hatties since then, but she was the first, and she'll always have that to her name. In comes Minnesota as Zumwinkle gets taken down along the boards. Heavy hit. No call, and they play on as Kristen O'Neill skates away with the puck. Good battle by Minnesota on the forecheck. They get it back. It's Lee Steckline at the blue line. Spins off, has it on her backhand, now forehand, goes to Jakes at the point, and that deflected on the way. Or Stacy has it caught up between her skates. Good shift for Minnesota here. Steckline over to Jakes. Jakes takes a shot that deflected up and off the glass.
Well, nice to see Jakes get in on the action here. She's got a big shot, trying to get Minnesota some offense here, trailing by 2.
Zumwinkle taken down by Kristen O'Neill, and we get a penalty.
Well, a tough shift for Zumwinkle. Goes down twice in that shift, but draws a penalty on the second.
Ottawa, number 43, minor penalty, tripping.
Now the power play will go to work for Minnesota as we take another look.
That's what happens. You move your skates, you keep your body moving, you force your opponent to take mistakes or make mistakes and do things they don't want to do. And Grace Zumwinkle spinning along the boards there, forces Kristen O'Neill to get the stick in between the skates. And if there was ever a chance to get back in this game, it's right now for Minnesota.
This power play is brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel. Power through tough messes. Back to Jakes at the point. Over to Heisey. Jakes feeds the far side. Kava back for Jakes. Jakes over to Kava. Kava surveying the landscape. Goes cross ice for Heisey. She'll set up once more, winds up, fires, and a kick save by Chuli. Point Schofield gets it back, sends it over to Heisey. Heisey over to Kava. Jake's winding up, and that didn't miss by much. Now Heisey walking into the circle, takes another shot. Right on, but Chuli was there.
That first shot by Heisey early in the power play I really like, because Heisey's game is so much about finesse that you don't necessarily expect a player like her to wind up and take a shot like that. So you can sometimes catch a goalie by surprise when you get a player like that to take a shot like that. And Heisey got a good look and then a good second look there right before the whistle here. So good cycle by Minnesota through the first 45 seconds of this power play, but they got to get more pucks in on that.
What's interesting is for these two teams who have been high-scoring teams all season, the power play has been a bit of an issue for both sides. Both operating at less than 10% efficiency. Minnesota ranked 4th at 9.1%. Trying to improve that here. Lee Steckline goes down to Zumwinkle. Zumwinkle takes a shot. It was blocked in front. Kelly Panic tries to center Krasova a shot, but she didn't get all of it. Zumwinkle collects. Back to Steckline. Zumwinkle a blast! Strong save once more by Chuli. Kelly Panic gets it back. Goes cross ice. Kicked out. Chuli, the rebound is loose, but the Montreal able to come away with a huge clear.
Oh, look for a second like all there was a gaping net to be scored on, and Zumwinkle just could not put that one home. Chuli goes left to right, able to make the save. Minnesota, some good looks, but this power play ticking down to its final seconds.
Final 5 seconds. We'll be back to full strength here. Maybe time for one last little push before O'Neill comes out of the box, and there she goes. Now George gets taken down by LaFour. Back comes Minnesota. Britton Fleming trying to set things up. Instead, now Kristen O'Neill will skate away. A 3-on-2 once more for Montreal. All kinds of odd player rushes, and that one sorted out nicely by Minnesota. Just past the midway point of this opening frame, a 2-0 lead for Montreal over Minnesota. Quick chance on the short side, but it sailed above the cage and out of play.
Welcome back into downtown St. Paul. Montreal up 2-0. Coach Corey Chevry, I see a smile on that face. You've got to be pleased with the way your team has come out on the road, picking up a few goals early here.
Yeah, I think our team really stuck to the game plan to start. Minnesota's a good team that, we obviously have to play above of and make sure that we capitalize on our chances.
Well, thank you, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Minnesota gets it back in neutral ice. Corey Chevry will be an assistant with Team Canada at the Women's World Championship in just a couple weeks. She was also a guest coach with the Pittsburgh Penguins this past season before taking the PWHL job. Spent time shadowing Mike Sullivan and serving on that coaching staff. And quick shot right on. Puck is loose right in front. And Montreal takes it away. Chevry saying she gained invaluable experience from the Pittsburgh Penguins head coach. Trying to use that now in the women's game.
Well, she's done a great job with this Montreal team through this inaugural season. It's been fun to see how each of the different teams have developed and the different storylines and personalities that have come alive throughout this season. And Montreal has definitely been a team from the start up until now, for sure, who has been hard to beat, hard to play against, and they play such a good game.
Montreal has been in first or second for most of the season. Now they sit in third thanks to that 3-game skid, and that's how quickly things can change in this 3-point system. Montreal sorts it out behind their own net. Claire Dalton playing it out. And that'll go for icing. Almost surprising that Toronto didn't separate itself more in the standings with those 11 straight wins. By the way, that win streak coming to an end just yesterday at the hands of Ottawa. Nice play that Minnesota was trying to get to unfold here, but Montreal playing well defensively, getting sticks in lanes. And O'Neill will try to bank it on the boards and out. Kelly Panic sending it right back in once more for Minnesota. Zumwinkle tries the short side, kicked out by Chuli. Back to Steckline. Her drive deflected right on. Minnesota buzzing here. Jakes gets the loose puck back, but only momentarily. Montreal tries to ring it around the boards, but still kept in by Minnesota. Here's Zumwinkle, high slot, shot, kick save. How good has Chuli been with the pads today? Another chance, and that just deflects off her glove and wide.
Well, she's faced 8 shots so far, turned them all away. Minnesota, ever since that power play, they've started to get more opportunities, more quality opportunities. And here's a look at this last sequence by Minnesota that forced Chuli to make a couple saves. That first pad save kicked out and cleared away. And then the shot by Steckline deflected on the way in off of Krzova's stick, also turned away by Chuli, as well as a couple others on that sequence. She's been busy the last couple minutes.
Ivy cuts off a loose puck. Dalton is there to take it away from Montreal. Stacy lost it in her skates. Right back comes Minnesota. They go for a partial change as Greco on the near side will ring it around the boards. Greco tried to get it back. Boulier catches up to the loose puck. And now Bujo skates it out for Montreal. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the opening frame. A 2-0 lead for Montreal in Minnesota. Leah Lum stops up, goes cross ice, but it comes out to the neutral zone, and Katie Tabin will send it right back in.
And Minnesota's done a good job of settling things down here after Montreal took that 2-goal lead. It hasn't gotten out of hand on them yet. Montreal hasn't been setting up in the zone and getting shot after shot after shot. Minnesota's had opportunities of their own.
Here comes Fleming in with speed, but it looks like they're offside. Oh, we have a penalty. Well, Brooke Bryant will sit for 2 minutes after a kneeing penalty that put Montreal on its first power play of the day.
She really does not like this call. She was shaking her head the whole way to the box and pretty much the entirety of that break. But I think that's probably the right call, Jamie. I mean, definitely makes some contact there at the top of the zone. Probably felt it should have gone the other way is what I'm assuming she disagrees with, but she'll sit for the first Minnesota penalty of the afternoon, and Montreal now a really good opportunity to try to extend that lead and really kind of, score that goal that could really knock the wind out of Minnesota. We'll see if Minnesota can kill this one off. They are 75.6% on the on the penalty kill this season.
Which is last in the PWHL, so it's certainly been something that Ken Klee has hoped his team can improve upon. Meanwhile, Montreal, similar to Minnesota, struggling to get the power play going, operating at just 8.3% coming into today. They ring it around the boards here to Maureen Murphy. Murphy already a goal here today, but a quick clear for Minnesota.
And an especially important penalty kill, just because we're getting down to the final couple minutes of this first period. You do not want to give up that third goal going into that first intermission, down 3-0. So this is a really important penalty kill on several fronts.
Madison Bazal, the Minnesota native, trying to play that puck ahead. Has it taken away by Minnesota, but Dubois collects and now leads the charge with speed. She'll ring it around the boards down low. Hensley comes out to play the puck. They jam away at it. Dubois catching up to it, has it on her backhand. Goes back down low for Dalton. Dalton over to Tabin. Tabin setting up. Goes up high for Bazal, but out of her reach and comes out to the neutral zone. Good chance for Minnesota, short-handed. Both players go down, and we are going to get a call against Montreal.
What great hustle on this play by Minnesota. Forcing Montreal to take a penalty on the power play.
Number 6, Montreal, minor penalty for tripping.
And Bazal just pitched her up along the boards a little too hard there, didn't give her enough room to work, tripped her up, and was able to Minnesota able to draw the penalty here.
And that's the kind of value Kendall Coyne-Schofield brings. I feel like every shift, she truly brings her all.
Well, she's going to skate 100% no matter the situation. And like you said, that is exactly what makes her so valuable. Doesn't matter if you're on the penalty kill, power play, up a goal, down a goal. Kendall Coyne-Schofield's going to play the same way every single minute of the game, able to draw the penalty here.
Steckline gets it at the point. 4-on-4 for just a bit here. And Minnesota will take over on the advantage. Working into Steckline. Nobody there in the slot. Instead, Bujo takes it away from Montreal.
She's a defender, by the way, dangling down low like she's like a winger.
Boulier taken down, and that shot just goes up high. Power play has begun for Minnesota, a Royale Tiger Towel power play. Point Schofield working in, has Heisey with her. Heisey now goes for a lap, winds up, fires, and a save. Looked like it was off the mask of Julie at one point.
That one stung her. You could see her head snap back from up here in the press box, Jamie. And Taylor Heisey has such a wicked shot. And she's so good at finding space. Look how she just works across the zone. The space isn't on the left wing, so she goes over the right circle. Finds the lane there, drives a shot off the face mask of Julie. And Julie, great job to make the save. I mean, there's few things scarier as a goaltender than to see a shot like that come through, aimed right at your head, and she's able to get in front of it. She has been fantastic here in this first period for Montreal.
And all season for that matter. And Renee Desbiens is kind of known throughout the women's hockey world as the best goalie right now in the game. Julie is her backup, but until just a few weeks ago, was undefeated on the season at a perfect 5-0. Brilliant so far today as Heisey goes across the ice for Cava. Cava back to the point. Touch pass over to Heisey. Lost it in her skates. Point Schofield gets it back, held in nicely by Jakes. Cava trading places, centering pass, and a glove save, Julie. Point Schofield getting into it now with David.
Point Schofield, the last couple of weeks, has played with a little extra spice to her game. She's gotten into some scuffles after whistles, letting it be known on the ice where she stands. And you see there, has a little something to say after the whistle gets tangled up. Good job by Minnesota to extend that sequence when it looked like Montreal was going to be able to clear. Minnesota keeps it in.
Another nice hold by Steckline. It eventually pops out into the Minnesota zone. Someone was there. Point Schofield might be one of the nicest people I know, but the fiercest competitor on the ice. Nothing nice about her when she lines up.
I feel like that's how it always goes. The people who are always the friendliest, they play the fiercest when they get out on the ice.
Minnesota gains the zone once more. Kelly Panic. Zone will now feed Steckline. Power play over. We've got under 2 minutes to go here in the first period. Montreal jumping out to a 2-0 lead, and that blast didn't miss by much.
Looking for the tip by Krzyzova. She just couldn't get her stick on it.
Zumwinkle has it down low, goes up high for Steckline. Now Steckline, another drive that was blocked on the way by Bazal. Steckline walks the line, sends one more on net. Julie is there. Boy, Steckline has been offensively involved here today. Now Maureen Murphy tried to catch up to the loose puck. Emma Greco, fresh off the bench, sends it deep for Minnesota. Amanda Boulier trying to play it out. Minnesota able to hold momentarily. Boulier has it back. Good job on the forecheck by Buderov.
Last minute of play in this period.
Final minute of the first period. Can Minnesota make things interesting here late before going to the dressing room? Channel. Now a drive from Greco. Julie came out. Gets right back in between the pipes. That puck bouncing into the corner. Claire DeGeorge fighting off Keppel. Instead, it's Bujo skating ahead, 2-on-2. Bujo sends it deep. LaFleur is there behind the net. 20 seconds to go. Up high for Erin Ambrose. Ambrose gets it back. Tries another shot. Melissa Channel is there in the way. That shot sails through the crease, and Minnesota will skate it through the neutral zone. They'll send it into the corner, and the horn sounds on period number 1. The score shows 2-0 Montreal.
Welcome back into the XL Energy Center. Minnesota down 2-0. I'm chatting now with Taylor Heisey. Taylor, you guys don't have the score you want going into intermission, but it felt like the effort was there in the first period.
Yeah, for sure. You know, like, we know that this is our last game for a little bit together. We're just trying to take full advantage of that. I think we've had a really good week of practice. But, you know, we just got to come out and be strong. I think, you know, they're a good team. They move the puck fast. They're getting pucks on net, but so are we. So it's going to come our way at one point. We just got to keep working.
Elaine Chuli was tremendous in that first period. A big reason why you guys were not able to find the back of the net. How do you approach a goaltender like that when it seems like they're stopping everything?
Yeah, I think, you know, she's a really good goaltender, but everyone has their weaknesses in the sense. I think she's really big. She fronts pucks, but as long as we get in front of her eyes and get pucks to the front of the net, I think things are, you know, like I said, going to end up going our way. But like I said, if it doesn't, you got to keep pushing, keep getting pucks on net, and keep working hard in the D zone.
How does the effort need to change going into the start of the second period to get the results you want rather than how the game started for you guys today?
Yeah, you know, I was happy with our effort and energy, and, you know, attitude, effort, energy, those are three things, keys that we always try to work on. So I think come out with a lot of really good energy and put a smile on our face and realize this isn't the game that we're meant to play. Come out and have some fun and play our game, and we're going to be just fine.
Thank you, Taylor. Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
So the second period about to be underway. Ken Klee sending out his second line to start this middle frame. And Sophie Jakes plays it ahead. Now Kelly Panic didn't like the look, sends it back to Jakes. Minnesota trying to keep its 4-game win streak alive and make it 5 in a row with a win here today. But to do so, we'll have to climb this 2-goal mountain ahead of them. You hear the on-ice communication so key to both sides. Kelly Panic now will play it up for Minnesota. Claire Dalton picks up the loose puck at center ice. Cut off behind the net by Bujo. She tried to feed Lum out front. Lum back for Bujo. Fought off by Lee Steckline. Kendall Coyne jamming away at it. Nia Lum now sends it deep once more for Montreal. Both sides with plenty of chances, and you got to imagine if you are Corey Chevry, you're telling your team, look out. Minnesota has shown they can be dangerous. They just haven't put it in.
Yeah, I'm curious what that message was in the first intermission. We know what Coach Ken Klee was probably saying, but for Montreal, it's like, well, we're up 2-0, but it felt like we were kind of outplayed in that period. So Montreal definitely needs to come out with a bang here as well, because Minnesota was pushing for most of that first period for that first goal and just couldn't find it. You know they're going to continue that trend here in the second.
Minnesota already with the first shot on goal in this period, now leading shots 15-5. But the most important numbers are the big ones, 2-0 Montreal. And now Montreal has a chance for a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Skating up the middle, off her backhand, just out of the reach of Murphy. It was Michaela Grant-Mentis playing in only her second game for Montreal.
And a delayed charge, go ahead. Delayed penalty here on Minnesota. It's going to go against Sydney Brott.
So Chuli goes to the bench. Katie Taven comes on as the extra attacker for the time being. And Heisey will touch the puck, so we get a whistle.
Once again, good work by Montreal. They've done a lot of this game where they force the puck out of the zone, high in the zone, and taking it up
Minnesota
the ice.
number 10, minor penalty, hooking.
And it turned into a good rush the other way for Montreal. Sydney Brott was in on the back check, trying to break it up. It just got a little too much stick action in there on the hands, tripping up the Montreal skater. Find the penalty there, and Montreal now a chance on the power play once again here today.
Minnesota penalty number 10.
Second opportunity now on the power play for Montreal today.
Time 2:26.
No shots in their first power play opportunity earlier in the first. Cut off, shorthanded chance for Minnesota. Point Schofield tried to feed Liz Sheppers out in front, and a little miscommunication. Back comes Montreal. It's Grant-Mentis. Throws one off her backhand, steered aside by Hensley. Schofield coming back short-handed. Sends it back for Channel. Minnesota killing off this penalty 1 second at a time.
Well, I like the way they're playing. They're not playing this penalty kill scared.
There's a chance in front as Chuli steers it aside.
They've had more chances so far on the power play here than Montreal has.
For those of you who may be somewhat new to PWHL hockey, there is something called a jailbreak. This is what Minnesota's trying to do here. Zumwinkle has Steckline with her. Zumwinkle shoots! Save! Chuli, the puck is still loose in the crease, and they sweep it out of harm's way.
Well, Montreal has given up 3 shorthanded goals this season. Minnesota was looking to make it 4 there. Chuli was looking behind her. Never a good sign if you're a goaltender, but nobody from Minnesota was there in the crease to tap that one home.
Almost a shorthanded goal, which would be what they call a jailbreak. Again, in PWHL rules, if you score shorthanded, you truly kill off the penalty and your teammate comes out of the box.
20.
Channel rings it around the boards for Minnesota. Great kill for the home team. Nobody home for Montreal as they were mid-change. Final seconds winding down on the advantage. Here's Sophia Cunnin. Has it in the corner. Lobbing the air, jamming away at it for Montreal. Back to full strength as Brott is out of the box. Now Bujo plays it ahead and gives chase. Steckline there for Minnesota. Heisey banks it off the boards. Brott tried to go back to Heisey, sorted out nicely by Amanda Boulier. Now LaFour has O'Neill with her. O'Neill tried to center. Good defense by Minnesota.
Yeah, Jakes was able to get over there. Minnesota was kind of caught sleeping, and Montreal carried it over the blue line, but Jakes got in the way.
Here comes Laura Stacey driving hard toward the net. How did that stay out? Another chance thrown on toward the net by Keppel.
Well, you can see why Laura Stacey is the second leading scorer on this Montreal team. Wasted no time getting into the crease there. Hensley, though, able to shut the door.
Chuli, way out of her net, has to get back in as the puck was dangerously loose. Minnesota swinging it around in a hurry. Bookbinder a drive, and she scores! A blast by Bookbinder, deflected in front of the net. Bookbinder, with her second of the season, has put Minnesota on the board.
Well, the defense has been active today for Minnesota. We've seen Jake Steckline getting in on the action. Now Bookbinder blasts one from the point. Deflects on the way in. I believe this went off a Montreal skater, so this should be Bookbinder's goal. We'll see what they officially call it. But it will be her second goal of the season and her 6th point in this stand. She did have an assist in Minnesota's last game against New York.
So much action. Not only in the women's game, but the greater game at large. Minnesota continuing to push, and they score again! Just like that, we're tied at 2, thanks to number 2, Lee Steckline.
Well, that's the 8th goal on the season by a defender for Minnesota. Natalie Bookbinder's goal was the 7th. Lee Steckline now scoring the 8th. Minnesota likes to get their defense in on the action, and Steckline, who's had some chances here today, is rewarded with a goal here. Kind of throws Chuli on the sequence. And just outweighted the attempted block shot and was able to blast it home. And Minnesota has quickly erased this Montreal lead. I don't know what Coach Ken Klee said in the locker room, but whatever he did, it worked.
My goodness. It's one thing to say, as Taylor Heisey did, that you believe in your game and to just keep at it. It's another to do it. They're an offside. And this league is the product of a lot of hard work and a lot of big dreams by so many of these women. Wow, another chance there by Minnesota. Bookbinder couldn't handle the pass. And Minnesota absolutely buzzing right now, Alexis.
Well, they're trying to get their first lead of the game here. They've come out firing in this second period, and they're not satisfied with a tie. They want to get that go-ahead goal.
Centering pass and a blast. Right on. Chuli grabs it with the glove. A nice hold for Sydney Brott momentarily. Lost it, and here's Dubois off to the races. Taken down on the way. No call. Katie Taven holds for Montreal. Brott plays it ahead. Good end-to-end action here today between two of the top teams in the league. Melissa Channel. 3 points moving very large right now in the standings as Minnesota can actually pull into a tie for first place with Toronto with a regulation win. Or Montreal can tie Minnesota in points with their regulation win.
And there's still a lot of points to be earned when we come back from the Women's World Championship break. But that being said, you don't want to go into the break with a sour taste in your mouth. You do not want to be the team who's going in off a loss or going in off a big loss or blowing a team who blew a lead to lose. I mean, those are situations you want to avoid getting into here, heading into this break. And with the 2-2 game here today, both these teams probably have that in the back of their mind.
Corey Chevry telling us before the game that they're almost viewing this post-World Championship break as a fresh start. It's a long enough break that they're going to have to restart. 3.5 weeks is a long time, and many of them will be busy representing their countries, but a lot more of them will be busy trying to further their game and get ready for the home stretch of the season. Brullier was shoved to the ice by Kruzova. No call. And the puck is loose now in the crease. Montreal able to skate away with it. That bouncing puck picked up by Zumwinkle in the corner. Kendall Coyne-Schofield gets it back and feeds the point for Steckline. She slings it across for Jakes. Jakes fans on the shot. Bounces to the corner of the net. And we've got some rough stuff.
Oh, another good shift by Minnesota. I feel like a broken record right now, but that's what it's been like for Minnesota. They've come out, no matter which line is on the ice as of late, they have come out looking for opportunities, and they're getting a little physical too. The arm gets stuck, or the stick gets stuck in the arm. Kruzova doesn't like it, shoves her over, and then we play on until the whistle where more activities ensue.
Well, Canadian Tire is a proud founding partner of the PWHL. Canadian Tire, Canada's store, here to make life in Canada better. Sophie Jakes skates behind the net, looking for a lane in front. She has Kava net front. That drive deflected by Kava, right on! Minnesota scores its third straight goal to take the lead.
Well, Michaela Kava said in her pregame interview that she feels like it's been a little bit of luck. I'm going to disagree with that and say it's a whole lot of skill because she has found ways to put the puck in the back of the net as of late. Here today, she gets her stick on this one out front to tip this one home. Nice cycle by Minnesota, low to high. Steckline sends the shot through. Kava deflects it in right at the crossbar and puts it into the back of the net. And this is going to be reviewed because of how close of a call this will be for a high stick. It's an official review by the PWHL.
Let's take a few more looks at this one. If it stands, it would be Kava's 4th goal in her last 3 games. Just named the PWHL's 2nd star of last week. Let's get the official call.
After video review, we have no goal due to a high stick. Face off outside.
There you have it.
The fans letting the officials know they don't agree with that call. I wouldn't expect anything less though from the fans.
It was very close.
It was.
But upon further review, no goal.
And I don't have a problem with that. I typically, when it's close, I say lean towards the call on the ice. But I think that I trust the judgment there. They saw something that it was above the crossbar. It's a tight game. I want them to get the call right.
Jakes tried to send one toward the net. Taven was there to deflect it wide.
No goal because of a high
Kava
stick.
gets it
No
back,
goal
has it on her
because of a high
backhand.
stick.
Tried to find Heisey streaking toward the net, could not. broken stick. Claire Dalton without one. Now that chance. Nobody home for Minnesota. Dalton will send it in for Montreal. Laura Stacey there, and Lee Steckline takes it away. Back comes Minnesota, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Kava streaking back toward the net. This top line for Minnesota sure has found some chemistry. Maggie Flaherty picks it up behind her own net and leads the charge now for Minnesota. Just past the midway point of this game. A tale of 2 periods. Although again, if you're just joining us, Minnesota largely outplayed Montreal in the first, but a couple of quick goals meant Montreal had the lead heading into the first intermission before Minnesota came out with 2 quick ones here in the second. These 2 teams will meet one more time in the final 5 games of the season that will all take place after this World Championship break. Depending on how everything shakes out, it is highly likely we could see them meet in the first round of the inaugural PWHL playoffs. By the way, Ken Klee talking about how he hopes in a way that they don't finish first. Here's a chance. Streaking in is Bryant. Off her backhand, gets a shot, but sealed off by Chuli. Bryant gets it back, feeds the point for Channel. Slings it across for Greco. Greco! Deflected wide of the net. Back and forth we go. Another good sustained offensive shift for Minnesota. Back comes Montreal the other way. Alexandra Poznikov trying to regain possession, sends it back for Lagunière. Keppel lost it momentarily. Dubois gets it back and now skates it forward for Montreal. Chips it off the glass and out to neutral ice. Poznikov. Wearing offside.
Well, all of a sudden, we're all tied up at 2 apiece here in downtown St. Paul. I'm here now with Coach Ken Klee. Coach, how do you like this push from your team here in the second period?
No, it's good. I really like the way we responded. You know, I mean, hockey games aren't always going to go perfectly for us, and we've been fortunate lately to play with the lead almost every game. So it's nice for us to have to come from behind, obviously get a little pushback and show that we can win games in different ways. So now we just basically have a half a game left to try to win a game.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
Yep, you bet.
Bryant almost gave Minnesota the lead. She's looking for her first points of the season still and almost came there on that shot. Also came off of a called-off Kava goal early. We've had a couple chances where this game has almost tilted.
4-2. Another deflection hit the side of the net. Panic tried to center. Zumwinkle skates it behind the Montreal net. Goes for a lap and feeds Bookbinder at the point. Across, Flaherty a drive. Went wide. Krzyzova had her stick held by Taven, has to pick it up. She was looking for a call. None came. Puck is bouncing all over the place. Montreal lucky to skate away with it unscathed. Heavy hit laid by LaFour in the corner. You can see Flaherty slow to get up. That shot fought off by Hensley. Flaherty looking a little bit shaky, but stays on the ice for Minnesota. Now she'll head to the bench. Keep an eye on her. There's Zumwinkle streaking toward the net. A shot through the crease, but Krzyzova couldn't handle it. Kelly Panic over to Zumwinkle. Out to the point, and a shot by Jakes. Claire Dalton banks it off the boards, tried to play it ahead to herself, but Lee Steckline is there for Minnesota. 6.5 to go here in the middle frame in what has been a highly entertaining afternoon affair. Taylor Heisey wins the draw back for Steckline. She'll send it in for Minnesota. Kava circles the net. Coyne Schofield picks it up and sends it back for Steckline. Across for Jakes. Down low. Kava trying to find the loose puck. Kendall Coyne Schofield batting it out of the air, but onto the top of the cage. The captain trying to get creative.
Well, Minnesota's done a good job of that this period, and we kind of talked about that, of looking for new ways to get Julie moving, and it feels like they've gotten shots from different areas of the zone than they were getting back in that first period. So Julie's task has gotten a little bit harder here. Minnesota's been rewarded with 2 goals for their efforts, and that's what you got to do when you're faced off against a good goaltender, is you can't just go with the basic shots where they can see it cleanly.
Well, we mentioned Madison Bazal is the lone Minnesota native on the Montreal roster. And guess what? That was her mom right there in one of the guest boxes here. I'm sure a lot of friends and family have come to watch Bazal shine here. Fleming trying to lead a rush for Minnesota. Claire DeGeorge catching up to her, and Fleming finds DeGeorge. Over to Budarak. Budarak bumped off the puck, gets it back. And feeds Jakes at the point. Step line a drive that went wide. Madison Bazal, by the way, product of Elk River, Minnesota, and a recent graduate of Ohio State. Deflection that just went wide.
Julie was moving the wrong way to make that save. She's lucky that one didn't end up on net, because if it did, it probably would have found its way to the back of the net.
Yeah, Lane Chuli has been tested. Suffered her first loss of the season in her last appearance on March 8th against Toronto. She was 5-0 before that. Lagunière tries to push it ahead for Montreal. Bugeaud carrying in. Has it on her backhand. Trying to center, and Hensley is there to cover up. Tried to center, batted down by Kava. Blocked out in front. Another drive that deflects up and high off the glass. Number 17, Poznikov, another recent addition for Montreal. And that shot blocked in front by Keppel. Minnesota continuing to threaten down low. Bring it up high for Jakes, and her drive deflected, but not in. Fleming was there to try to create some chaos. Puck stayed out. 2.5 to go here in the second period. Poznikov gets a shot off, puck is loose right in front. Played away by Minnesota. Back to Katie Tabin. Tabin banks it off the end boards. Picked up by Poznikov. Poznikov has Dempsey with her. Dempsey moves net front now as Poznikov get it over to Bugeaud, and Minnesota skating away with it. 3-on-2 if they hurry, and a good stick by Tabin to disrupt the play. Back comes Minnesota once more. That drive and a save by Chuli. Some end-to-end action here late in the second. Katie Tabin scored the first goal of this game, now gaining speed and shoves off a Minnesota defender. Laura Stacey picks it up in the corner. 90 seconds to go here in the second. Sophia Cunnin gaining speed. Minnesota going for a change. Kazova checks behind her. Cunnin tried to get it back, had it taken away by Kristen O'Neill. They battle for it along the boards, and Claire Dalton skates away with it. Stacey goes for a change. Fresh legs on the ice for Montreal.
Last minute of play
Cunning
in
as
the
the
period.
final minute of the second period is ticking down. Bookbinder makes a little move. Has it disrupted by Keppel. Kazova gets it back and just missed the stick of Maggie Flaherty. Bookbinder sends it deep once more for Minnesota. Zumwinkle skates behind the net, looking for a lane to pass. Top of the slot, Bookbinder, and a save by Chuli. Puck is still loose, but she finds it and hangs on. And some more nastiness between these two teams.
That was an early whip whistle. That puck was not covered yet. It was right in front of Truly. The official, though, who blew the whistle was kind of screened by Truly from the puck, which is why they blew the whistle. But the shot comes through from Bookbinder. You can see the puck just sitting there, and everyone's shoving away, and the whistle was blown, so the play ends up dead. But Minnesota coming very close to getting their first lead of the afternoon with just about 30 seconds to go here in the second period.
You've said that at least 3 different times. This close to Minnesota having his first lead of the day. Instead, they'll have to play on and stay tied at 2. Laura Stacey tries to play it ahead for Montreal. Maureen Murphy, the dump and chase. Lee Steckline jamming away at it. It comes loose. Jakes will now lead one final rush for Minnesota in the last 10 seconds. Kava across the point, Schofield. That shot blocked by O'Neill. Heisey gets it back. Time winding down, and a horn will sound on the second period of what is now a tie game.
Well, we're back here in downtown St. Paul, and all of a sudden it is a 2-2 game. I'm here now with Maureen Murphy from PWHL Montreal. Maureen, you've got 2 points so far in this one. What's been working for you individually in this game?
I have to credit those to my line mates, Gab and Grant Mentas. They've really been pushing me, and they're great people, so just reading off them. Like I said, it's really all the work they've done. I just kind of got lucky. So I'm going to have to credit them with those.
Well, heading into that first intermission, your team had that 2-0 lead, but Minnesota was getting opportunities late. What was said in the locker room by your coach in that intermission?
Yeah, I think just trying to remember it's a 0-0 game. Even though we're up 2-0, obviously now it's 2-2, so I think the message now is going to be a little different. And I think Minnesota's a great team, but we really bit ourselves in the butt on those 2 goals. So myself included, just we need to block shots and really grind out the next 20 minutes.
Well, you've been giving credit to your line mates in this interview. Talk about Elaine Truly. How about the credit that she deserves here in this game? She's been tremendous. This game could be higher scoring if not for her.
Yeah, I mean, I love when she's in the net. I love Ann in the net too. And the reason we're going into that first intermission 2-0 and why it's only 2-2 is because of her. And I'm going to have to apologize to her for that second goal, but hopefully we can get it back for her.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Nice crowd gathered here in downtown St. Paul to cheer on the home team, looking to extend its win streak to 5 games with another win here today. Opening faceoff won by Minnesota. Kazova will send it in deep as Truly plays it behind her own net. Laura Stacey plays it ahead to Kristen O'Neill. Maureen Murphy joining them on that top line. Today is the 4th of 5 meetings between these 2 teams. Montreal winning 2 of the first 3. But Minnesota's win looms large. It was their first PWHL game back on January 6th. At the time, a record attendance for a women's hockey game. That record has since been broken a couple times. But Grace Zumwinkle scored all 3 goals in a 3-0 win for Minnesota. They jam away at it. Sarah Bujo will send it ahead for LaFour. LaFour sends one on net, gobbled up by Hensley.
And with the goaltending we've seen today, especially from Truly, as she's been the one who's been tested more today, there's really not going to be a lot of goals to spare here in this third period. We might only see 1 more the rest of the night, and it's going to be the game-winning goal. So not a lot of room for error here today. Defenses have to be tight in this third period, and the goaltenders have to continue to play the way they've been playing to keep this game what it is. I don't think we're going to see many more pucks find the back of the net here in the third.
Kava tries the center, and Heisey deflected it, but it goes wide. That top line so dangerous. Kendall Coyne-Schofield zooms behind the net, tried to throw it out in front, but only Montreal was there. Leah Lum skates it ahead. Yeah, the way this PWHL has shaped up in its inaugural season, we are treated to intensely competitive games and a lot of 1-goal wins. Both teams know what's at stake in terms of points at this point of the season, so I think you're right, Alexis. Don't expect the ice to open up much here down the stretch. David will try to play it ahead for Montreal. Minnesota is there as Greco sends it right back. DeGeorge goes across with Budarak, tried to make a move, and David sorts it out. Back comes Dalton, 2-on-2. Dalton crunched along the boards by Greco. Minnesota comes away with a loose puck. A quick start to each of the first two periods. And now 2.5 gone here in the third. Minnesota centering pass. Couldn't handle it, and back comes Montreal. Laura Stacy lost an edge, was looking for a call, none coming. Liz Shepard hands it over in a drive by Bryant. Katie Tabin trying to clear the zone for Montreal, held in nicely by Cunnin. Cunnin moves ahead. Brooke Bryant is there in the corner. Out to the point, Jakes' blast is blocked on the way by O'Neill. Jakes again winding up and deflects wide. Jakes active here early. What a nice fit she's been since coming over via trade earlier this season.
Yeah, her game against Toronto at the game at Mariucci Arena at the end of February is where she really started to find her groove here in Minnesota. She scored 2 goals in that game. Minnesota ultimately ended up losing that game in overtime, but it was a fantastic game for her. She's been great.
Montreal tried to connect. Keppel was down low, and the pass just out of her reach. Number 44, one of those trade acquisitions you mentioned, Amanda Boulier, playing for Montreal, went over in a trade with Ottawa for Teresa Vanashova.
And I think she's going to fit in well with this Montreal team. She's got a big blast. She kind of thinks offensive at times. She's small in stature, but as Coach Corey Chevry said, she plays big, and that is absolutely true. She's going to, I think, have a good career here in Montreal.
This is her first game with Montreal today. Kava sends it ahead for Coyne Schofield. Flaherty with a little spinorama pass. It's cut off by Daou. Posnikov trying to get it back to Daou. Daou lost the handle on it. Here comes Coyne Schofield with speed. Coyne Schofield carrying in for Minnesota. Intercepted by Montreal. They turn it the other way. Dubois flips it in before going for a change. 5 minutes gone here in the third period. Both sides playing pretty tight defensively. Maureen Murphy goes cross ice for Stacy out of her reach.
Now you can see the teams are playing it safe right now. Nobody's trying to make that big play, which could lead to a big mistake.
Turnover here, Maureen Murphy, a drive, it just went off the post. Stacy there to follow up the rebound and keep this play alive for Montreal.
And Hensley thought that beat her. She was looking behind her.
Didn't miss by much. So many close chances for Minnesota in the second period, and now an early good chance for Montreal. Chuli is out to play it. Strong on the forecheck, wide open net. Nobody home as Claire Budarak just sent it sailing through the crease, hoping to find a teammate. Jakes a drive that banks off the end boards. Now Jakes feeds her teammate, Maureen Murphy, intercepts the pass. Britton Fleming plays ahead, Budarak trying to get a shot off on the short side, had it sticked away. Held in nicely by Jakes. That shot went off LaFleur.
Jakes has not been afraid to shoot here today.
2 defenders, the goal scorers for Minnesota. And with the way Minnesota's been scoring at will lately, they'll take it from just about anybody. They jam away at it. LaFleur sends it ahead for Montreal, but Lee Steckline is right there for Minnesota. Ice starting to tilt in favor of Minnesota after a pretty evenly played first 5 minutes of this period. Although it's a drive for David, and a poke check by Hensley.
Great heads-up play by Hensley. That is a quick decision you have to make as a goaltender. She gets the stick on it and breaks up the sequence.
Hensley had to be heads up there, and she certainly was. And for that matter, she's been very good after giving those 2 goals up early. Quick save! What another save! Oh my goodness! 2 stops right on the doorstep. It's Julie with the pad.
I don't know how Zumwinkle did not find the back of the net there. It was wide open, but Julie had the lower part of the net tied up, and Zumwinkle just missed.
Zumwinkle's going to be seeing that open net in her nightmares tonight. Flaherty a blast. Blocked out in front. And you can see it's Bazal shaking her hand. Looks like it caught her in the glove. Hensley rings it around the boards calmly. Here comes Minnesota once more. Zumwinkle sends it in before heading to the bench for a change. The physicality ramping up a notch here late in this game. Laura Stacy trying to fight through a check. Kava picks up the loose puck. Has Kruzova with her, and the crowd getting involved. Oh, she makes a move and collided with her own teammates. This is the state of hockey for a reason, and 7,268 fans turned out to support their team and try to cheer them on to a victory that would tie them for first in the standings.
I mean, you can either be snowed in at home or snowed in at a hockey rink. I'd rather be at a hockey rink.
Great point,
right?
Alexis.
I mean, come on.
Such an honor for me to be here personally as a Minnesota girl myself. Dream come true to call a game here at XL Energy Center. Maureen Murphy sends one right on, but Hensley makes the save. And that's how it's been. Montreal won the first period by outscoring them 2-0. Minnesota responded with 2 quick goals in the second period. Here we stand, knotted at 2 apiece. That puck missed wide of the net and bounced up into the glass. We've got a player that looks to be a bit shaken up. It's Bujo as she lost her stick and heads to the bench. Colin Schofield sends it down low for Heisey. Centering pass, and Buderak couldn't handle it. Back comes David, gaining speed through the neutral zone. The rest of her team will change, bring some fresh legs, and she gets a shot off short side. Held in by Dalton. Picked up by Grant Mentis, taken off her stick by Minnesota. Back they come. Halfway through this 3rd period. Final game before a 3.5-week break for the Women's World Championship. And then 5 games in the regular season after that to decide who will face whom in the inaugural PWHL playoffs.
Well, I thought for sure Boston had them. They find a way to win that one before ultimately losing to Ottawa.
Oh no, trouble in front. Hensley thought she was playing it aside to her teammate, and Kristen O'Neill almost threw that into an empty net. Minnesota gets a break. Laura Stacy trying to jam that puck out of the corner. Comes loose. And Zumwinkle will send it in for Minnesota.
Well, there hasn't been a lot of room to work with here in this game.
There's a loose puck in front. Maureen Murphy right there to steer it out of danger.
And I was just going to say, that goes for the goaltenders as well.
Kelly Panic a shot right on, and a pad save by Julie. Hensley a bit cavalier coming out of her net that last shift. Boulier sends it deep for Grant Mentis. Grant Mentis tried to center. Right in front is David, but lost it momentarily. Gets it back. Now trades places with Boulier. The turnover here, Boulier. Bookbinder able to get it back, brings it around the boards. Boulier lost it in her skates and will come deep in her own zone to get it back.
Good recovery by Bookbinder there to get the puck back after turning it over in a pretty dangerous spot in the zone.
Turnover here, now Minnesota will try to take advantage. Coyne Schofield sends it over to Kava. Had it disrupted by Dubois. They jam away at it. Kava sends it up high for Greco. Back to Kava. She feeds Heisey. Heisey from the high slot. Over to the circle, a shot right on. And a save by Chuli.
Heisey just does not settle. If the shot isn't there, the space isn't there, you can guarantee she's gonna find it some way, somehow. And that's something I love about her game, is she will always get to the open ice, which makes her so hard to defend because she is not a stationary player. She is constantly moving around in the zone.
And that right there was the 30th shot on goal for Minnesota this game, outshooting Montreal 30-16, yet tied at 2.
In 2 of the 3 matchups this season, Minnesota tallied 22 shots on net against Montreal. In one of the matchups, they tallied 46, so they're kind of in the sweet spot right between those 2 numbers here in this one so far, and continuing to trend closer to that 46 number than the 22.
Buderov plays it ahead. Fleming bumped off the puck by Tabin. Tabin across for Murphy. Back to Tabin. Tabin joining the rush, leading the rush rather, tries to make a move, and Lee Steckline says no. Held in by Murphy momentarily. Lee Steckline all over the ice today, so impressive. Here's a chance for Minnesota. DeGeorge was streaking toward the net. Couldn't catch up to the pass.
And she is such a sturdy stay-at-home defender. She is not rattled easily. She's got such a long stick as well that it's really hard to get past her.
Erin Ambrose a drive, and it deflects wide. Heavy hit along the boards by Laura Stacy. Steckline over to Jake. Stretch pass up for Krzyzova. Krzyzova has Panic streaking toward the net. David comes away with the puck. 3-on-2 for Montreal if they hurry. Grant Mentis tried to play it ahead, had it taken away. Back and forth we go, under 6 to play here in the 3rd and final frame. Or will we see overtime? Flaherty zips it around for Channel, deflected, but just wide. David plays it ahead for Dalton. Maggie Flaherty there to sort it out for Minnesota. Krzyzova tips it in and heads to the bench for a change. Some fresh legs on the ice for both sides.
Well, things were tight to start in the 3rd. They're really going to tighten up now with just 5.5 minutes to go. There can be no mistakes made at this point because I don't see a mistake going unpunished here. Down the final 5.5 minutes. And Minnesota still looking for that go-ahead goal. They've been searching for it since the 2nd period. This one just goes wide.
So many chances. This is the kind of high-octane hockey that we've come to love every night in the PWHL. Great chances, great goaltending. True best-on-best league, the first of its kind. Bujo tries to bang it along the boards, gets it back, makes a move, but Kava seals it off. Now Boulier, and a turnover. Heisey picks up the loose puck, lost an edge and falls to the ice. Bujo able to play it ahead. It's Sarah Lafour in all alone, takes a shot, saved by Hensley. The crowd showing its appreciation for the Minnesota goaltender.
It was a broken play in the offensive zone for Minnesota, and Montreal jumped on it, and that's what I mean. No mistake is going to go unpunished here today. There's going to be chances that come out of every error made by either team, and Hensley comes up big. Everybody in a purple jersey owes her a steak dinner after this one.
Laura Stacy has Murphy with her. Now O'Neill trying to get to the loose puck, and Buderov is there first. O'Neill dumps it into the corner. Picked up by Flaherty and played ahead. 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd period. Laura Stacy trying to beat Hensley. Hensley better get back in between the pipes. A dicey moment for Minnesota. DeGeorge plays it ahead, tries to fight through a check by Posnikov. Puck comes all the way back deep into the Montreal zone, and Dahu will lead the charge forward. Dahu, the defender, joining the rush, tried to send it on goal. It sails wide. Krzyzowa makes the move, takes the shot, saved by Chuli. Rebound comes out. Alexander Poznikov is there.
Good job by Chuli to cut off that angle short side. She had that entire post tied up.
Now 3 minutes to go in the third period. None of the first 3 meetings between these two teams has needed overtime. We shall see if that changes here this afternoon.
And despite that, 2 of them just 1-goal games that Montreal came away victorious in. Minnesota's only win was their home opener, where they won 3-0, but Montreal has had their number since then.
Yeah, Montreal winning 2-1 on January 24th, and again 2-1 on February 18th. Here's a chance. Michaela Kava tried to center. It was sealed off by the Montreal defender. Kava gets it back. Heisey trying to settle down the loose puck, plays it all the way down the ice, and Hensley will hand it off to Steckline. Final 2 minutes here at XL Energy Center. More than 7,000 fans here in the state of hockey hoping to witness a victory for their team. Here comes Britton Fleming, had it taken away by Murphy. It's a 3-on-0 if they hurry. O'Neill to Murphy, and a save by Hensley! Oh my goodness!
And that's probably gonna be the save of the game.
3-on-0, unfazed was the Minnesota goaltender.
And that play developed so quickly, either Hensley, not much time to kind of assess the situation. She comes up big with the save here, keeps it 2-2.
Kelly Panic makes a move, sends one wide of the crease. They bank it along the boards, and Panic is there. Hit along the boards by Daou. Lafour tries to skate it ahead for Montreal. Steckline sends it deep.
And whoever ends up losing this game today is going to have plenty of tape to go back and look at and say, well, we almost had the lead there, we almost had the win there, we hit a pipe there. So many opportunities for goals here today.
Final minute of the third period. At this point, nobody's just playing for overtime. We're seeing great chances on both ends of the ice. Mariah Keppel lost it between her skates. Marine around the boards, and before tried to connect with O'Neill. Keppel checking over her right shoulder. Point Schofield is there. Kava trying to break it free. Point Schofield does just that. Now Kava looked like she took an elbow or some sort of contact. No call, and they play on. Or will we get something? She made a reaction like she took a hit up high, possibly a stick.
And she was slow to get up, but then looked okay skating to the bench. You see on your screen there, she's laboring. Great minds think alike. Yeah, just kind of an awkward collision. And hopefully she's okay. She's had another good game here today, had a called off goal that would have given Minnesota the lead back in the second period.
That would have been her 4th goal in the last 3 games. Instead, we play on tied at 2. Final 10 seconds. The puck coming all the way back into the Minnesota zone. Lee Steckline content to skate it behind her net and hand it off as the horn sounds on regulation. So we stand tied at 2. A couple of brilliant saves by both goalies, and we should expect nothing less than an electric overtime here over the next 5 minutes.
Should be a good one. Both teams 3-3 when playing past regulation. All of Montreal's wins post-regulation have come in overtime. Minnesota 2 overtime wins and 1 in the shootout. Both goaltenders got to be sharp here the rest of the way. 5 minutes on the clock.
Lee Steckline, one of the goal scorers today, leads the charge ahead for Minnesota, has Krzyzowa with her to start this overtime period. Kelly Panic as well. Back comes Kristen O'Neill now for Montreal. Laura Stacey driving toward the net. O'Neill doesn't like the look, decides to come all the way back in her own end and set up once more. O'Neill Back to Stacy. Stacy plays it ahead off the end board for Ambrose. Ambrose looking for a lane, goes up high, fresh legs on the ice. It's David. Pulls it back into the neutral zone. Not sure if that was intentional or not, but either way, Montreal maintains possession for the time being.
Looked like she wanted to keep it in the zone and then just didn't really have the angle, and so decided to take it out.
Kelly Panic active on the forecheck there. Laura Stacy able to skate away with it. Passes ahead for David. Stacy goes to the bench. Katie Tabin driving hard toward the net, and a great stick by Sophie Jakes to take it away. Tabin gets it back, loses an edge, and falls to the ice. David takes over, has it on her backhand, and walks it out to neutral ice once more.
Minute and a half in, it's been all Montreal possession. Minnesota's got to find a way to get this puck turned over.
Montreal's already changed about 3 times as well. It's Grant Mentis, one of the newest players for Montreal, on the ice here in the overtime session. Murphy again takes it out to the neutral zone. Almost like they're playing for a shootout. Still too early for that as Boulier, another new addition, tries to skate it in. Turnover here. It's Taylor Heisey in all alone. A shot saved and is loose on the goal line. How did that stay out?
Did that puck just hang in midair?
It felt like ages.
That puck had some serious hang time. I mean, Taylor Heisey, for Elaine Shuley, that is not the player you want to see coming down the ice one-on-one. And Taylor Heisey rips the shot off. It goes off the shoulder and then off the post.
Off the crossbar.
Oh, boy. Well, add that to the list of close calls we've seen today, Jamie.
My goodness.
Talk about nightmare fuel if you're Taylor Heisey.
Not too often do we see a puck go off the top of the crossbar as Laura Stacy's drive goes wide. Top of the crossbar and hanging on the goal line. My goodness.
I mean, hockey is a fast sport, but sometimes it feels like it's happening in slow motion. And this is one of those plays where that puck goes off her shoulder and it felt like it was in midair for ages. And I thought for sure it was going to drop down back behind her and either end up in the crease or in the back of the net. And it went off the crossbar. A little chaos ensues. And we carry on in overtime.
Can you believe it? What a game here today. This has been so fun. Minnesota has it now with Krzyzova. Kelly Panic with her. Panic had it taken away by Lafleur. Now a 2-on-1 developing. Bujo. Great defensive effort once more by Steckline, and the crowd showing its appreciation.
She just makes everything look so easy.
Back in is Lafleur. Lafleur takes a shot, glove save. Puck is loose and Hensley hangs on.
And great job by Hensley to recognize the situation was getting a little scary, jumps on the puck to get the whistle. She had trouble hanging on to the initial shot, which caused the ensuing action for Montreal. That shot that should have been a pretty simple glove save for Hensley. She can't hang on to, but then jumps on the puck to get the whistle, which will bring up a face-off with exactly 2 minutes to go in the overtime frame.
O'Neill wins it back. Ambrose sends it across for Stacy. O'Neill wheeling with it. Over to Stacy. Stacy looking for a lane, takes it below the goal line, tries a wraparound, it's sealed off. Hensley wasn't sure where it was, but it's somewhere beneath her as the puck stays out.
I like that idea. It's not too often you see the wraparound attempt in 3v3 overtime just because it's so much of a possession game. So the fact that you throw that into your tool bag to try, not something goaltenders always expect, and Hensley sees her coming, the 5-hole is open, and Hensley is able to shut the door though.
O'Neill has it. Stacy picks up the loose puck. It's still loose in the slot. Eventually, Minnesota's going to skate away with it as Point Schofield kept the play alive. Heisey working it on Stacy. Off her backhand and a save by Julie.
Oh my goodness.
Now a 2-on-1 the other way, but they're gassed. Stacy across for Ambrose. Ambrose tried to send it on the net. Blocked by the Minnesota defender. End-to-end action. Kendall Coyne-Schofield with fresh legs on the ice. Sends it over to Steckline. She's got Heisey. Heisey for Steckline. Steckline's shot sails over the cage and off the glass. Final minute of overtime. Grace Zumwinkle looking to end it. Carrying in off her backhand. Toward the net. Somehow it stays out again.
How many times have we seen the goaltenders look behind them today, Jamie?
That cannot be a comfortable feeling for either of these goaltenders. They have certainly had a bit of puck luck in their favor. Icing.
Ooh, a rare overtime icing.
Ooh-wee.
Well, this will give Minnesota a good chance with 27.1 seconds left in overtime. It's a little too much time to try to hold for that final game-winning shot, but it'll give them a good opportunity to set up in the offensive zone. I say this all the time, but Grace Zumwinkle is so good at driving the net. She will come off the boards, straight to the net, and get a good look. She's good at using her body to find space, in down low, and almost caught Julie there with that one, but Julie able to shut the door.
Zumwinkle leads the team with 9 goals and 16 points, second in the PWHL with those 9 goals. Maureen Murphy gains the zone for Montreal. She's the only Montreal player on the ice. Great chance, Hensley was there. Now Taven deflects over to Bujo. Fought off along the boards by Panic, and the horn sounds on overtime. All right, we've got Krzyzova on the ice for Minnesota. She'll be the first player to take it in the shootout. Has on her backhand, moves with a forehand, and a save by Julie, who again looks behind her.
Oh my goodness. Oh, tough day to be a goaltender, Jamie. A lot of scary opportunities they've had to face. Krzyzova, I like the move she made, but Julie shuts the door.
Now it's Maureen Murphy.
Already a goal here tonight.
Scored the goal that made it 2-0 in the first period. Maureen Murphy works toward the slot, tries a shot, and a save for Hensley.
She just kind of lost the handle on it right at the end there. She lost the handle to start, and then again at the end. She deked herself out of the shot, actually, and Nicole Hensley, good job getting over to cut off the angle.
One of the hottest goal scorers in the game right now is on the ice for Minnesota to take the second shootout attempt. It's Michaela Kava, who almost had a goal today. You could say that about a few players. Wheeling in slowly down the left side, makes a little fake. And Julie gets a piece.
Well, she came out pretty wide down the left side of the ice and didn't have a great angle to shoot at once she decided to take the shot. So we play on.
Laura Stacey, second leading goal scorer for Montreal, picks it up at neutral ice. Working in, makes a move, and another save for Hensley.
Stacey came down with some speed. Hensley did a good job to follow her the whole way through. Another look at it here. Hensley gets in front of it.
Grace Zumwinkle, who leads PWHL Minnesota in goals on the season. Coming in down the left side. Pouring back in, she scores! Nifty little stick handling, and she roofs it to give Minnesota the lead.
Nasty, and Grace Zumwinkle, I mean, oh my. Some goals you just can't even break down, they're that good. What a shot to put Minnesota up in the shootout.
Stick handling specialist with that shootout goal. Here's Ambrose trying to tie it up now for Montreal. Erin Ambrose working toward the middle, and she scores!
Sometimes those shots in the shootout, the ones where they don't look like they're gonna make a move and it's just kind of a tricky little wrist shot, are the hardest to stop. Swings out on the right side, then comes back into the slot and just waits, and shoots. Ties it up at one apiece.
Beautiful shot for the Montreal defender, also part of Team Canada. Taylor Heisey coming down the right side. Slows down and over, backhand, a beauty!
Come on now. Taylor Heisey, I mean, scores is highlight reel material. It really is. Elaine truly didn't have a prayer on that one.
Fourth shooter. They go back to Ambrose, who just scored.
For Montreal, shooting is Erin Ambrose.
She'll try to do what she just did and tie it up again in the shootout. To the boo birds in the crowd, Erin Ambrose going right to left, and a pad save, Hensley.
Well, I like that Ambrose switched up her method. Tried something different. Keep Hensley on her toes. And speaking of toes, Hensley gets a couple on this puck to keep it out of the back of the net. And that is a tough, tough push as a goaltender to move that way. And Hensley wanted to go right, forced to go left, gets a foot on it, keeps it out.
Here to win it now, Grace Zumwinkle. Down the center of the ice, and she scores! Grace Zumwinkle with her second shootout attempt. She went 2 for 2 to seal the deal for Minnesota.